Major Mohammed Ali Shah is live with us on the broadcast for this story. Now, Major Mohammed Ali Shah, a very strong statement put out by Russia and some strong allegations that have been made against some NATO countries and saying that they have specific conditions that they need to be fulfilled. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I'm not particularly surprised, because I will tell you, there were a lot of analysis even earlier which were actually pointing fingers not at Russia but at NATO, at that, NATO is the one who is apparently trying to arm twist and bully Ukraine, and there were people giving that analysis as well. And I've been hearing it, but I've been kind of ignoring it. I'm like, okay, fine, if that is everyone their take, that's their perception, So now when people make these kind of strong statements, ultimately, let me tell you what is going to come out of it. Ultimately, they will not be, I think Putin is only flexing his muscles, and this is something called as the hybrid warfare, where it's not just because nowadays you don't hear of wars earlier during Gulf War and all, or in 1962, 65, 71, you had heard wars physically happening on ground, where people were actually fighting man to man. But now then, after Gulf War, there was a change. And now it's not the typical warfare that earlier it used to be. Now when you see the Russian vehicles with a Z sign in white coming over there, because let me tell you, Russia and Ukraine have a lot of similarities. A lot of similarity. In fact, the Russian president, Mikhail Gorbachev, before the disintegration of USSR, before 1991, his mother was from Ukraine, incidentally. So there's a lot of similarities there. Now to avoid friendly fire, they have put a mark over there so that, vehicles are distinguished. But let me tell you, tactically, militarily, in warfare, from a range like that, it's very difficult to identify and to see. Now, when these statements come about, it really, because, India has to keep a very fine balance. There are a lot of students in Ukraine as well, and India has sped up its operations regarding the air to evacuate them. This happened in the Gulf War, it happened in Afghanistan, when 15th August, when the Taliban took over in Afghanistan, it happened now. But at the same time, our advisory is, we are not compelling our Indians to evacuate from Ukraine immediately and come back. Unlike US, which has given clear orders for their diplomatic staff to immediately vacate and come back. India, and at the same time, we should not forget that Russia is also a very, very big military partner. The S-400 missile systems, it's a very lethal weapon which we have got from Russia. Now, when such an advisory, when such a statement, and when accusations come along, Arab world, yes, they have to take a call. They have to decide. Now, which side do they actually stand by? So this kind of allegation, these kind of you, me and all will continue. But let me tell you, if Russia wanted to invade into Ukraine, they would have done it in 2014, when Russia actually went and invaded into Crimea. Then there was a prediction by Vladimir Zelensky that by 16th February, Russia will attack Ukraine. And he put up a video on Facebook as well. But ironically, 16th February, we saw Russian troops withdraw gradually from Ukraine border. Now, the troops are as close as 6 miles to 25 miles. That is actually relatively very, very close. But this is again a kind of a hybrid, a kind of a psychological warfare also, that you have to break the enemy's resistance without firing a single bullet. But now, Russian extremists are actually firing into Kiev, and 2 soldiers also have been killed. And this is going to continue. See, it will not be a full-fledged war, but these kind of escalated tensions are going to continue, and they are going to be countries which will make a claim, which will make a statement, which would suit their favor ultimately. But let me tell you who benefits from all this. Germany, Russia, Ukraine, US, the NATO allies? No. The ultimate benefactor is going to be China. That is where the actually main evil is, but US is not focusing at all over there. Right now, the entire world's focus is towards Ukraine and Russia, and whether it will lead to a third world war. Well, I don't think Russia is going to ultimately attack Ukraine, because as per the Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the NATO Act, it says if one country of the NATO alliance is attacked, if there is an armed force used against one nation, the entire NATO alliance will all together unite and take an action which they deem fit, which can be anything, which can even be imposing sanctions, which can even be probably launching an armed attack on them, which can be anything up to them. Now, will Vladimir Putin will have the gumption to go against the entire world? And thirdly, will it lead to a world war? It will definitely, even if, given the benefit of doubt, that Russia does attack into Ukraine, will it lead to a third world war? No, definitely no, it will not. So these nations which are now making accusations and such statements, I think it is okay. I mean, it is fine. I mean, ultimately, because the whole world is watching and nobody wants to take the blame that we started this. And now, right now, the situation is tense. Let's accept it. I'm not saying that it is not. It's very, very tense. Troops at the border displaying signs of war certainly is there. But at the end of the day, I don't think peace should prevail, hopefully. And yes, all the nations should unite for peace to come in there.
Absolutely. Major Mohammed Ali Shah, thank you for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your views on this pertinent story.